Now, there has been some changes with some of the modulators where you've got a pop-up window and you can actually resize it. You actually saw this in the last video where with the key track, so for example, with the modulator here, if I add a key track, in the previous version, there was just the key track and you couldn't resize that. But now with the key track plus, you can go in here and you can resize that view, so make it a lot bigger so you can see it a bit more clearly. But also what has a resizing option now is the steps. And you get to that in the grid. So I click over here. I'm going to look for steps. Here is the steps module. I'm going to drag it here. And by default, it's quite small, but I can actually make it a lot bigger. I can just grab the bottom over here and drag that down. So I've got a much bigger view of the steps. I'll just drag to the side over here and just move it across so we can see things more clearly. Now, I can't actually make this any bigger to the right because I've only got a limited amount of steps that are set up. If I click here, I can change the amount of steps. So here's 8 steps. I'm going to make it to 16 steps. And I'll close that. And now I can drag that wider. Now, how about we modulate something with the steps? So I'm going to click over here and modulate the filter. Now, maybe make this bipolar, drag things to the other side. And like you saw, if you clicked this pop-up window here, you can see more details. So for example, I can jump through and see the different steps. I can clear it or even add some randomization to create some random looping step patterns. And like you saw, I could resize this window. I can also resize this window to make it bigger. And then I can close that. I get this other steps view here, and I can go in here and resize this as well to make it bigger. So it's nice just being able to have this bigger view instead of the smaller view that you had previously. So you can open up the steps pop-up window and drag the UI a lot bigger so you can see things more clearly.